My name is Kieran Taylor. I'm in the basically the Department of Biology. My supervisor is Dr. McGonagal in the Department of Biology and Dr. Badia, who works at Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada. So this poster is covering basically the first phase of the research we conducted. The research focuses on the impact of arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi on disease resistance in barley. The main idea behind this is basically asking ourselves, do these fungi, which we know colonize the majority of land plants, do these fungi, when they colonize barley, do they provide them with disease resistance, especially to diseases that don't impact the roots of the plant? The reason we want to focus on pathogens that don't impact the roots of the plant is because we know these fungi colonize the plant roots. So if we find that they're providing disease resistance to diseases that impact, in this case, for example, the heads of barley, this would indicate that it's providing systemic resistance across the plant in some respect. Arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi, as the name implies, they're a type of fungi. They produce what are known as arbuscules within the roots of a plant. These arbuscules are shown here labeled A. They're referred to as arbuscules because they're almost tree-like, so, arboreal, arbuscule. And these arbuscules basically provide a means for the fungi to exchange nutrients with the plant. Usually what these fungi do is they branch out into the soil with their hyphae and extract phosphorus from the soil that the plant normally doesn't have access to. It then provides the phosphorus to the plant roots at the site of these arbuscules in exchange for sugars that the plant provides to the fungi in return. So the main benefit that these fungi are known to provide for plants is this sort of nutrient acquisition. However, our research focuses on whether or not we're trying to determine if they're providing other benefits like disease resistance. In the future, my hope with this research is that this could provide some more economic and ecologically more beneficial alternatives to fungicide use. Because at the end of the day, plant diseases are very devastating for farmers economically and just in general, because at the end of the day, I guess one thing that I detail here is that with the particular pathogen we're studying, known as Fusarium head blight, it produces a toxin within the barley known as deoxynivalenol. And if concentrations of this toxin are as low as 0.5 milligrams for every kilograms worth of barley, that barley can't be used for malting anymore. You can imagine that would be a very significant financial loss for farmers. And so you want to prevent this at all costs. The problem is fungicides are generally pretty expensive. It can be sometimes difficult to actually, apply them during the right time. And in addition to that, it can cause some decent ecological damage to the soil microbiome that's actually there. So if we find that these fungi are actually providing disease resistance to barley, these could be potentially used as an alternative to prevent these sorts of pathogens in the future. And we've had some promising results so far. These results are showing the level of arbuscular colonization, or basically what percentage of the root system has been colonized by the arbuscules of these fungi. And what we found is these 4 bars here are basically representing 4 different varieties of barley, or genotypes of barley, that have known differences in disease resistance. And at least in the case of these 3 Canadian varieties, we find that the more resistance these varieties had, known resistance to Fusarium head blight, the more colonization they tended to have. And it was generally significantly more, which at least points to the fact that these fungi are contributing to disease resistance. We're currently doing tests in a growth chamber to confirm to what extent they're providing disease resistance. But at least in terms of this first phase of the research, there's at least a pretty strong correlation between the level of fungi on the roots of plants and disease resistance.